starting out as a DJ and whatnot. Alright, so first of all, mixing in its simplest form is crossing between track 1 and track 2. Now, if you're really going to be an advanced DJ, you can use more than 2 tracks, like say 6 tracks, and that would be amazing if you could do it. Now, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm only going to use 2. I usually use 4 myself. Now, let's give a brief rundown on the mixer. Now, this section right here we call the mixer. You have your crossfader, which crosses between track 1 and track 2 depending on where you place the slider. You have your volume control, which is self-describing. It controls the volume of each track. You have your gain, which is fundamentally the same thing as the volume, except for, well, there really isn't much difference. You have your master volume, which controls the volume of everything you do. You have your master Q, which is the volume of the headphones that you're using, if you're using headphones. And for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to be using headphones because that's complicated, and most people that are starting out don't have 2 sound cards and don't use multiple audio sources. Not audio sources, audio outputs. Okay, for every track you have your gain control, which is volume. You have your high pass, which is your treble. You have your mid pass, which is your medium frequency of the song, and you have your low pass, which is your bass. So if you really want some bass kicking, crank up your low pass and lower your high pass and mid pass. But if you want treble really strongly, you can crank up your high pass and your low pass, bring it down. And that would be helpful if you're trying to mix into a new song and whatnot. Okay, you have your PFL, which is the track that is playing in your headphones at the moment. So if you press the tab key by default, it switches between track 1 and 2, or vice versa. And it marks it up here, A and B. It shows you which track is playing in your headphones, or your cue. These 2 meters right here, you can't see at the moment, but they show the volume of the track. It goes the same for both sides. Okay, you have your video tab, which you probably won't be using unless you have a projector or whatever. In this mode, you use video samples instead of music, and you can mix videos and play it on a projector or whatever you're going to use. In the scratch tab, this allows you to modify your scratching, but I'm only going to show you beat matching in this video, so that's not necessary. Go back to the mixer. Okay, for every track you have your BPM. This is the amount of beats in every track per every song. This is helpful because it allows you to know which songs will work together and will sound good. Like, say, if you're trying to mix a rock song with a rap song, it's not going to work because they have very different BPMs. Beats per minute is what BPM stands for, and that's how many beats play per minute. That gives you the overall tempo of the song and whatnot. You can change your BPM by sliding this pitch slider, which also will change the pitch of the song. These also allow you to adjust the pitch manually. You have your sync button, which will sync the BPM of this song to the BPM of this song, or vice versa, whichever's playing. You have your play button, which plays the track. You have your pause button, which pauses the track, and your cue button, which cues in the new track, which means a cue is where you want to start the song when you're mixing. You have your 3 hot cues, which are exactly the same as the cue, except for it gives you more cues to work with. You have your sampler, which allows you to play new samples, say audio that you recorded and then ported into the program, like a siren or something like that. Now, default, it comes with a siren, a saxophone sample, a put your hands up sample, a push sample, pump it up, and this sample. Now, you can record your own live samples from what you're playing by pressing record. This records it onto the open track of the sampler. Effects, it just affects the song that you click it on. Say you click it on this side, it'll affect track 1. If you click it on this side, it'll affect track 2. And that gives you cool effects that you can apply to the track. The filter messes with the frequency of the song, and that's really cool if you're trying to fade in a new song. The key is the pretty much the key of the track. Loops, they're complicated, but they're useful. You have 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32. Every time you click on a loop, it'll loop the song by that many beats. So say you want a song to repeat a section, that's what a loop is, by 1 beat. You click on 1 and then it'll loop the part over and over and over again. Looping in allows you to choose where you want to start the loop, and out is where you want to end it if you want to do it manually. Now, without any further ado, I'll just start with some simple electronic music. Now, as you guys know, I love deadmau5 if you've seen my channel. Now I'm going to load up a simple deadmau5 song. Let's see. Animal Rights. That'll work. Now, by loading up a song, you just click it and drag it on. Now, as I was saying, it shows your BPM up in the corner. This gives you the BPM of the actual song, and then it gives you all the information right here on the song, and the amount that's elapsed and the remainder of the song.